here the option to um, okay. Okay. Immersive gallery. Okay. Need those apps. Pause the record.
Stay in your lane.
Okay. All right. All right. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. I would love it if you all would put where you're joining from and how you found this event. That would be cool. If you would type that in the chat, that would be great. That would be great. All right. All right. Got a nice little crowd today. Yay. All right. We'll close that up. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. All right. Awesome. I guess Eventbrite is still working good. My friend Stacy is here. Yay, Stacy.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. All right.
I've crossed over into afternoon, but I think most of you may be in morning still.
Maybe we actually have quite a few different time zones.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm on East Coast time zone as well, but we have people call in from all over the world.
There you go.
5 p.m. in the afternoon in England.
Priscilla. Yay! The end of your workday.
Priscilla, was that you I was supposed to give that information to? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. I totally forgot. I've totally forgot. Glad you are here. Maz is here. Nadia is here.
I'm in Mississauga.
Okay.
Lunchtime here.
Okay. Now is that Iman?
It's Iman. Yes.
Iman. Okay, yes. Iman. All right.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah. And then we have, I got to look at the big screen here. I got a big screen over here. So you see me looking away, I'm looking at the big screen. And let's see, is that Katarina? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly.
You did. Thank you. Hi.
All right. Greedy. Yay. And then we have Lana. Okay, Aisha. Is that Aisha? Aisha. Okay, all right. And then we have Linda and of course Michelle. So yeah, welcome everybody. Oh, nice crowd. All right. We have some folks still jumping in.
Yes, we do.
All right, but we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to thank all of you for joining me today. Welcome to the virtual networking mixer for a high achieving female entrepreneur. So if you didn't know that already, you are a high achieving female entrepreneur. Okay. Okay. So own that thing, own it. All right. So we actually meet here every Wednesday at the same time. We've been here for over 3.5 years. We've been meeting at the same time. The only time we don't meet is if the holiday falls on a Wednesday. And so, but we've been, I would say that's some consistency, right? You know, we've been on that thing, you know, but we want to welcome you. I hope you all have had an amazing week so far. If not, this is gonna we're gonna do our best to make this the best day of your week. Okay. All right. Okay. One of the goals that we have here is to always facilitate an environment that's conducive for building relationships, connecting, and learning. Okay. And so we've been doing this for the past few years, working on creating that type of an environment. And we hope that you all feel the vibe, the connecting vibe here. Again, we just want to welcome you. So my name is Aldreama Harper, just in case someone asked and I forget to introduce myself. So my name is Aldreama Harper, and I am the co-host of this networking event. Dorothy Travis, who is my co-host, and we've been doing this for over 3 years. She is not with us today. She's got some other things that she's working on, and so she let me have it, and I was like, okay. So, but no, she'll be back. But again, we created this about 3 years ago, and we're excited that you all are here. So you probably have seen, if this is your first time joining, this is the AAC networking event. It's a networking mixer, but AAC stands for ambitious, audacious, and courageous. We are a faith-based community of like-minded female entrepreneurs and lifestyle business owners. And so we have these events every week. And if you can't come every week, that's okay. That is okay. But over the past 3.5 years, we've had thousands of people to come through. Right. And so and we've met a lot of people from across the globe. And so if you don't see some of the people this week, you'll probably see somebody else next week, or maybe some of the same people, right? So yeah. So I want to welcome you. So just a little bit about AAC. Again, this is a faith-based community of like-minded female entrepreneurs. We also have a private community. This is our public community, right, where we meet every week, but we also have a private community as well. And And so we would love to have you join us. I'll put some information in the chat if that's something that you're interested in. And I will, just kind of, you can check it out. Okay. So we are thrilled that you have joined us. My role is to kind of quickly go over the flow of the event. And it is actually a 2-part agenda. Okay. So first, what we have is a teachable moment where we share on various topics related to business, personal development, things like that. Everyone gets to participate in the discussion. Sometimes, we're going through a book, sometimes not. We're currently not going through a book. We'll be talking on a topic today. And what we ask is that if you have any questions about the topic, about the teaching points or whatever, that you raise your hand or use the reaction button down below, or you can put a comment in the chat if you have a question or anything like that during the teachable moments. Because I know sometimes, like, if I don't write it down, I'll forget my question. Okay. So that's why I say that. But I know you won't. You're on it. And so that's during the teachable moment. So we'll do that for about, 15 minutes or so. And then the second part of the event is where we have what we call our round robin, where you get 60 seconds to introduce yourself. And when you're done, you pass the mic to someone else so that they can introduce themselves. And when they start their introduction, you put your information, your contact information in the chat. Okay. So it'll be at that time, we ask that you don't put your information in the chat while we're doing the teachable moments, just around in the round robin. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. Makes sense. It's pretty simple. I think I overcomplicated it, but anyway. So that is our round robin. Okay. So today we're going to kind of talk a little bit about the power of community, the power of community. I do have a question for you all before we get into our topic, since I told you the topic is community. How many of you are already a part of some type of community, whether it's a prayer group, church, business, or maybe it's something that's based on a product or a service you purchased or what have you, a Facebook group, right? We're all a part of some type of community. And if you haven't noticed, like Facebook and all of the other social media platforms, their focus is more on community, right? And the thing about it is, it's not just a group of individuals, right? Community shapes our lives. It shapes our destinies. It helps us be uplifted, right, during challenging times if we're in the right communities, right? And they also create a lasting impact. It's a vital part of our existence, right? And so today we're going to explore a little bit more about the power of community, because at its core, a community, according to it's about connections, right? But according to Pew Research Center, 79% of adults in the United States feel that they belong to a community where they can connect with others who share their values and their interests. And that has been one of the goals of our networking community. Our networking event is to provide a sense of belonging, right? And we really do hope you feel the vibe, okay? Community also provides a support system in times of adversity, right? It helps you to be more resilient, gives you that comeback power, right? When you got the right community around you, right? According to the Journal of Community Psychology, individuals with a strong community tie experience increased psychological well-being and are better equipped to face life's challenges, right? It shapes our experiences. Community empowers us to achieve greater heights. It provides the support and encouragement that we all need in our journeys. I found an African proverb that said, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I thought that was so powerful. So today I actually invited a friend of mine to join me today, Stacy. I'll give a little bit of an introduction. I'll let her introduce herself, but I asked her to come and talk a little bit about community today, because not only does she manage an online community, a solopreneur online community, she also has been very instrumental in managing an offline community for maybe over 20 something years. So she'll, share a little bit more about that. But
I asked about how many communities you're in.
And so I think she knows a little bit about community. So I asked her to join me today because when I first thought of this topic, I was like, I think I need her to come in and talk a little bit about the importance, of community. So I'll ask her some questions. But before I start asking her some questions, I want her to come and just go ahead and unmute yourself. Well, you're already unmuted, but just share a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then we'll move on.
Well, thank you first for having me. Aldreama and I have some good conversations, and I will tell you, I will try and talk slowly. When I get excited, I talk fast, and I giggle a lot when I get excited. So if you hear me giggling, that's what it's all about.
It's okay.
I do work full time. I've been with my company for 29 years. I've done several different things. My main career was asset management for shopping centers. We're winding that down. I know I only look 32. I don't know how I could be at my company for 29 years, but that happened. That happened this year. And so in winding all of that down, my boss asked me to stay on. We're doing some software development, which I can get into in the community section in a little bit. But in the meantime, he's been a fantastic mentor. And I am also a female solopreneur, a woman entrepreneur, and I'm starting my own side business, which has been crazy, and developing communities for that. So I've just got a lot going on like this. But one thing I just love, I love to talk to people. I love to connect people. And, you know, a lot of people have pros and cons on what COVID did to us. And I find one of the major pros with COVID was community development. And we can be engaged with a lot more people in meaningful ways. Even though some people might not like this setting, we're all getting used to it. And before COVID, you know, I was in a running group, or I tried to meet with my adoption or an adoptive family, my adoption group. Post-COVID now, so many communities and so much growth and connection. I just find it phenomenal. And if you can embrace this type of a setting to make deep connections is just really amazing. Faith-based communities, you know, it takes a village to raise a child. That's my belief with the adoption community. So that's kind of where I'm at, work full-time, solopreneur. I build communities. I belong to communities. Yeah, I mean, any questions, you let me know. I can get you the answer. That's my motto. If I don't know it, I'll find it for you.
I tell you, she's being very, very modest. She manages a community. I'm a part of her community, and she's also been a part of my community, my decluttering community. And so, but we met, I think I saw maybe an advertisement or something for solopreneurs, and I joined. Yeah, and so she's being very, very modest. She does a phenomenal job of managing the community. And so, but yeah, so thank you so much, Stacy. So a few questions before we, you know, we'll move on. Why do you think community is so important? Why do you think it's so important?
Well, I can tell you, everybody talks about they take personality tests, and I highly suggest everyone take a personality test if you're going to be a part of a community, because just like in a family, everybody adds something different to a community. Everybody adds something different to a family. I am actually, contrary to what you might see on the screen, I'm actually an introvert. I'm a social introvert. So I'm an empath. I'm a huge empath. So there's certain things I can add to a community that maybe somebody who's a very high extrovert would add something different. So if you would take a personality test, I think it's the Myers-Briggs, or I might say that backwards, Briggs-Meyer, that would really help you identify what you could add to a community. Because just like in a family, or just like in your neighborhood or your church or wherever you go, everybody has something of value to add, and it makes the community so well-rounded, and you can mentor and you can grow at the same time. So if you can do that, you can add to a community. It helps you, you know, no man is an island. It helps you be a part of something. My kids, I'll tell you very quickly, I've always taught my kids, think globally. One of my children is in the military, is overseas regularly, producing global effort, which I'm so proud of. My other child, they're 10.5 years apart. I tell her, think globally. She's shooting for the FBI. My philosophy for me is I make my little corner of the world better, whether it's my office, my church, my neighborhood. So there's always a place for you, and you can always add value and feel connected to other people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I totally agree. And a lot of times, you know, you find people joining communities just so that they can get something. But I love how you know, how you put that, you know, in terms of, you know, giving value, you know, to people, and community does allow you to do that. So in your experience, what are some of the main challenges that you have found being the manager of a solopreneur community? What are some of the challenges that you have found that solopreneurs face?
So the reason I asked how many communities, and I'm not going to pick on anybody, because I will tell you, I saw the 6+. I will tell you, honestly, on Facebook, I am a part of 34 communities. Now, having said that, think pre-COVID. How many communities in person did you belong to? So I had my running group, which I went to 1, 2, 3 times a week. My church group, 1, 2, 3 times a week. I got to my adoption group maybe once a month. So when you think of the number of communities and you think of the quality of the communities, you try and think back pre-COVID, how much can I really engage in 34 communities? I can't. My top communities are probably 4. That's what I can fit in on a regular basis. So part of the struggle with a community is managing people that join, but they're not really engaged. So you have to try and think about what you want out of that community, what you can give to that community. And when I'm managing it, I have to balance that. And it's constantly trying to stay in touch with people to make sure that they're engaged. And we don't just have, I tell you, a community that I'm in that I seek information from. They have 5,000 members. I regularly go to their weekly meeting. They have 3 people show up out of 5,000, maybe 4, but I've not really seen more than 3 or 4. So that's difficult to manage when people are joining community, but they're not engaged. So you have to keep on top of your connections. Aldreama and I mean, like, if we live next door to each other, we would be best friends. Like, seriously, you mentor those connections, you nurture them, you foster them. And so my community that I manage, Lifestar, we have about 210 members, which doesn't really seem like a lot, but the members that we have that are engaged is solid. And I know those people intimately, as if I'm going to sit around a fire pit with them. You don't want to really be in a community that you're not going to engage in. Otherwise, why be in it? And it's frustrating. It's frustrating for the manager to try and figure out why you're there. So I'm constantly DMing people. I'm constantly asking, what can I do for you? What are you looking for? And creating a relationship to make sure the people that are in there, I'm giving them what they need. They're getting quality, and we're having engaged members.
Yeah. I would imagine that can be, pretty tough. I mean, I kind of got you beat on the different communities that I'm a part of.
No.
Yeah.
See, we're twins.
But the thing is, quite a few of them are based on maybe a software or something that I purchased. And so I'm a part of that community. And, if anybody, knows me, they know that, I love technology and gadgets and software and all that kind of stuff. So that has been, a really big challenge for me. But one of the things that I started doing was I started decluttering some of those, myself. I started decluttering, the groups, and I started removing myself from a lot of the groups that I was not engaged in.
Right.
And so I got the number down. It was over 100.
She had me beat.
And so, but I got the number down a little bit. I don't know exactly what it is, but I just removed myself, from a lot of them, because I just was not engaging. So it's just, it's just cluttering up my feed, so, but yeah, so, and I'm sure other people, can identify, so I guess, so, Stacey, I want you to definitely put information about your community, the solopreneur community, in the chat, just in case anyone is interested in joining her community. I would definitely recommend. And so definitely put that in the chat so people can, reach out. Did you have any other things that you wanted to share about community?
I just think when you think about joining a community, it's really about finding a place And I do go back to pre-COVID a lot because we're kind of settling in. It's taken a couple of years. Communities did start before COVID online. They did. They weren't hugely successful. COVID forced us to do so many things that we really weren't ready for. But what I found is when I get into a community, belong to a community that I really am engaged in, for me, it's like you move into a neighborhood, you're invited to Friday night pizza night in the neighborhood. You go, you meet the people in your community, in your neighborhood. These are people you're going to live with. So in a community, these are people that you have something in common with. These are people that you are showing up and saying, I want to have a relationship with you. So you have to take that seriously as if it was your neighbor next door, because there are other people that do take it very seriously like that. And what I found is that I actually have, again, because I'm a social introvert, I have much deeper relationships with people that I can come and spend time with. I'm making a conscious effort to take time out of my day and spend time with them and share personal things, business things, how we grow, anything that you share in that specific community. I found that I have much, much deeper relationships with people after COVID and thinking about how I want to spend my time.
Yeah.
I can't spend time in 34 communities.
Right.
But I can spend time in 3 or 4 really good ones. And those are very deep relationships.
Yeah. I've definitely formed, some really deep relationships virtually. That's how Dorothy and I met on Facebook, and so we became business partners and friends. And so it's definitely, and I am too a social introvert. So
Yeah, twins.
Yeah, that's why we connected so well. But anyway, so yeah, I know we have some questions in there. Michelle, can you read some of the questions or comments that's in there, and then we'll.
I absolutely can.
All right.
There
Thank you.
were some of them are I have a variety of communities, so thankful for all of them. Someone asked the question of how many different communities are you in? And some people said, I'm in 6+, some said 4, 4 different communities: coaching, public speaking, and entrepreneurship ones. Someone said it makes them feel supported, and it's amazing. They're amazed that we're able to bring women together here from all over the world. And when you're not part of a community, it's easy for to believe that you're the only one going through something. And then we talked a little bit about Myers-Briggs, because I'm ESTJ when it comes to Myers-Briggs. Maybe a little bit different now because of the work I'm doing, but at my core, ESTJ. And then someone posted anagram personality test for anyone who wants to go and take it. Nadia is ENTJ. Greedy is INFJ. So, and someone also said, Katarina said, finding the right communities is a challenge, which is very true. And she also loves what you said about declutter to increase engagement and value. And then someone asked, Jean asked, do we use community for our business or mostly just for ourselves and connection? And Aisha said both for her. Katarina also said both, so we're just talking about communities around business and personal time. And
go ahead.
Let me add to that, Michelle, because I think, was it Jean that asked that? Jean, do you use it for community, for your business, or mostly personal connection? I find, Jean, that they start to intertwine. Yep. So part of my communities are personal. Obviously, I've already mentioned them. I'm a long distance runner. I have adoptive children, all of that. I also run a community for work at my full-time job, but that overlaps because I have a side business. So my community for work is for solopreneurs, one-person business owners who want to come together and talk about, their accounting issues, their marketing issues, whatever they're dealing with as a one-person business. How do I keep up with the workload? If I want to get a virtual assistant. So mine's on one end started in business, but because I'm a solopreneur, they're kind of overlapping. And then I do have separate personal ones. Again, I would really only highly recommend being in the number of communities that you feel like you're either getting high value out of, or you can also mentor and give value to. It's okay if they're not really balanced, like if I'm not giving and receiving the same amount in one community, but as long as you're balancing it overall, you're giving in some and getting in the other. But I think sometimes they tend to start to intertwine a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. Any other comments, Michelle, in there?
Someone asked for the Zoom link for the weekly meeting.
Oh yeah, I need to send that to I need to send that to Priscilla. Was that Priscilla? Okay, yeah. She asked me last week and
Okay.
and I forgot. And just so that everyone knows, I'm sorry, Michelle, just so that about the Zoom link, just so that everyone knows, whatever Zoom link you use, we have not changed the Zoom link in 3.5 years. So you just use the same Zoom link. You don't have to re-register. And so I'll put that in the comments. Now on Eventbrite, it only shows, it says, join here. I do that because we don't need people just copying the Zoom link and coming and, and spamming and all that kind of stuff. So once you're here, though, it's just, we tell you just, you don't have to re-register. So I'll definitely put that in the comment, in the chat here shortly. So anything else? I think Stacy raised her hand.
Yep.
And go ahead, Stacy, and then Michelle, if you'll check the comments and the questions for me, that will be awesome.
I want to respond. Is it Greta? How do you say your name?
Her name is
Greedy. Okay, I want to make sure I got it right. So she asked the best channel. So I will tell you, when I started, most of the communities I am on are on Facebook. And Facebook is a default community builder, because that's really where a lot of people are personally. So when businesses want to start, they tend to start there. They try and pull, because how many of us just wake up and we open Facebook right on our computer or our phone in the morning? We check out what's going on. So that's kind of a default platform. There is a really great one. It depends on really what your community is going to be. And I'll explain very quickly. We started our business community on something called Circle. Phenomenal. We loved the platform. I don't know if anybody uses Slack or anything or Discord, how you have channels. And Circle is built just like that. It's got channels and we love it. We built the whole thing out. But with solopreneurs, it was very difficult to get people to go to a new platform. So we flipped. We still have Circle. That's going to be our paid community when we get that up and running, probably next year. We flipped over to Facebook and we got traction again, because by default people were there, and it's so easy to click that join the community button. Again, leads back to making sure you're engaged and you're not just, clicking it and never coming in. So it really depends on what type of community you want to build and where you think most of the people are. Let's say you want to start a running community. I would go to Facebook and Google running communities and see how many members are in a lot of those groups. Hundreds of thousands. Then it's probably best to stay right on Facebook, because again, you can share members of communities. You're not stealing. Everybody adds their own value. You can have two groups that are very similar. They're not going to be the same. So you can share members. Obviously, we wouldn't have 34. I wouldn't have 34 communities if we're not sharing members. So go and do a Google search on what your community interest is, book club, whatever, and go and see where those communities are hosted. And I would go with whatever is the most popular at that time.
Awesome. Awesome. That is excellent advice. Excellent advice. Michelle?
And we have someone that also answered, and she said it depends on what kind of community you want to create. And Jean created a local meetup group because she really wanted the in-person connections. And what I'll say to that is COVID forced certain things. I am an extrovert, period. If I spend too much time by myself, I'll start falling into depression. I mean, COVID nearly made me lose my mind, right? I gained weight and everything. It was insane. So, but what I was able to do with Dorothy and Aldreama, we still ended up going, like I went there and visited with them in Texas.
Right.
And I live in Virginia Beach, between
Yeah.
Virginia Beach and New York City. So
Yeah.
I actually went and we actually got to spend time together. So it's possible to create very deep and long-lasting relationships via, video,
Yeah.
virtual, because
Yeah.
like I'm part of their private community, and
Right.
our dreamer really doesn't talk much about it. But what I'll say is that in the private community, it helps to excavate and cultivate ideas and actions to support the building and the growth of my business. I mean, they've helped me with so many things, CRMs, and I mean, I just can't say enough about it. But I also believe that there is, because I'm closer to them than I am to some people that I'm right here with, and I was a part of that community, right? So it really all depends on the personalities of people and what you're really looking to get out of the relationship. And, there's a saying that, we all here to be used, just not misused, right? So some people get the impression that they just come to a community to take, and if they don't want any real expectations from them about what they contribute to the community. And I think that that is a foolhardy way of looking at things, because we are all here, we all have a purpose, we all have gifts. And if you coming into a community bringing your gifts, you will get out what your heart is sending you in there to bring. So you get what you give. And I've run across a lot of takers, right? They just want you to come and support them, and they're not really showing support. And I have to say that that has not been my experience in this community, and I love being a part of it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you so much. I have a question for everybody, and I want everybody to, put in the chat. The question is, so what do you expect from community? What are some things that you expect? And just go ahead and type it in the chat. When it comes to community, what are your expectations when it comes to community? I can't wait to see some of these answers. Okay. Okay. All right. So Katarina said great guidance. Mutual respect. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. A feeling of belonging someplace. I can help others. Support and guidance. Support, positive energy, same mindset, building mutually beneficial relationships. Yes. Ma says common courtesy and authenticity. Yeah, that's a good one. Jean said a give and take of info, inspiration, and guidance. Wow. I love that. I love it. I love it. Community helps me find like-minded people I wouldn't bump into in person, as they are all over, all over the world, sharing. Those are some great, great, great answers. And I can tell you, for me, I've already shared that I'm an introvert, and I can say that for me, what COVID did was help me to be okay with virtual events. I love virtual events. And so, as a matter of fact, I have not been to an in-person networking event since COVID, and I have no intentions of doing so. So, but then, when you look at networking and things like that, there are other opportunities to network. So like conferences and things like that, so I would, do that. But just going to a networking event in person, nah, not me. So great answers, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stacy, for sharing all of your insight from that. And I don't know if you've already put the information in there.
Yeah.
Okay, great, great. And so when Dorothy and I started this networking event over 3.5 years ago, our main goal, as I've said before, was to facilitate an environment for connecting, learning, and building relationships. And we still, to this day, those are our core values, right? And as it, continued to evolve, we decided to introduce our private community, which is AAC Network Society, where we focus on the needs of entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, and which is our private community. And our thing has always been creating a safe, non-judgmental space as an extension of our public community, because we only meet, like once a week, here. So we, kind of want to see y'all more often. Okay. So what I'm going to do right before we head into the round robin, I'm going to put information in there concerning about what that looks like. And if you're interested, if anything we've said, resonates with you and you feel like this is something that you want to be a part of, then I invite you to join us there. Again, I put the information in the chat. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move into our round robin. And in the round robin, again, you get 60 seconds to introduce yourself. And then once you introduce yourself, you pass the mic to someone else, let them introduce themselves, and then you put your stuff, your information, how you want to be contacted, if you have an event, whatever it is you want to share about yourself in the chat, you can do that at that time. Because I know sometimes it's kind of hard, there's multitasking, you're passing the mic and then you're trying to put your stuff in chat, and you're trying to find your links and all that kind of stuff. So I think that might be a pretty good flow. So introduce yourself, you got 60 seconds, and then pass the mic, and then put your information in the chat. Okay. Did you have something, Michelle?
Yes, I'll be timing, but for some reason it's not showing up on the side over here.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if it didn't bring me in via my account. So I'm going to have it on my phone.
Okay.
So I'm going to be holding it up to the screen. I just want to let everybody know that.
All right. All right. Well, I've already introduced myself. So you know that I'm Aldreama Harper, and I'm the co-facilitator of this, event. I'm also a business organizing strategist and declutter coach. And so the same way, if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me via the email that's in the chat about the community. Okay. So that's my 10-second introduction. So I'm going to call on, how about I call on Linda Kolba? Is that Kolba?
It sounds better than it should be, but it's Tulba.
Okay. All
Okay,
right, Linda.
perfect. Thank you. So hello, everybody again. My name is Linda. I'm from Czech Republic. and I'm the CEO of a business named Crowlin, which is a company I started together with my husband last year in May. And we are basically providing IT services and maintenance to the clients. So, and it's also like we're dealing with the web development, creating mobile applications, and the part of our service is also taking care of digital marketing, branding, web design, and content writing as well. So yeah, everything in one bucket.
Everything in a bucket. Yay. All right. Well, call on the next person and then put your information in the chat in terms of how you can be reached. Who do you call on, Linda?
Sorry, I didn't know you were talking to me.
Yeah.
I just put the I put just my details in the chat, so I hope it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But you have to call on the next person.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Should I just
It's okay.
choose somebody?
Anybody.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Anybody. It doesn't matter.
Okay, Aisha, is it? Yes. Thank you. You're right next to me, so sorry about that.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Aisha, and I have a few different companies, and one of my newest one is It Works, and I started doing this because my past company left the UK and I got the opportunity to join this company. I knew nothing about it and I saw it as an opportunity. I had a team with my last company and some of my team wanted to come and stay with me to keep that community alive. And so I joined It Works and I'm learning all about nutrition and finding out loads about me. And my core is to help people. I love to be able to help people and feel their best. And I'm managing to help loads of people now feel much better about themselves. I'm also involved in environmentally friendly cleaning products, which are in the UK. Again, something close to my heart. So I just like everything I do. I just like helping. It's just my core, who I am. And
awesome.
That's me.
You had 6 seconds, but okay.
I know. I just thought
you did good. You did good. So go ahead and pass the mic, call someone else, and then put your information in the chat.
Lovely. I would like to call on Jean because she's smiling away, looking ready to go.
Thank you. I am a business coach and I combine practical business guidance and expertise with astrological, like personalized astrology. This is something that I've been doing recently, combining the astrology with the business coaching. I've been doing business coaching for quite a bit longer and drawing on 15 years of online business experience. I had a business that I grew from scratch and started from the very beginning and just built from the ground up to quite sizable with a large team and scaled it, had a large platform of, various social media and online platforms and membership site and online courses and stuff like that, and sold it a couple of years ago and have been using the information and knowledge that I gained through building that business up now with my business coaching clients. And more recently started incorporating astrology into that, which I absolutely love because there's so much you can see in someone's birth chart about their what they're supposed to be doing, their life purpose, how they best communicate, who they're supposed to be working with ideally. There's so many clues there. So I'm really enjoying that and getting a lot of good feedback from my clients about that.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you know what to do. You've been here before. So put your call on the next person and put your
Katerina.
Who did you call on?
Hi.
Katerina.
There we go. All right.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm Katerina and I'm a career success strategist. So I have kind of two parts to what I do. My business is Your Success Unlimited, and I am really quite skilled at helping people land the job. Specifically, I really am passionate about supporting women in the workforce. And so I help them by developing the skills and building their confidence in the job market. But I also do leadership coaching. So I do a lot of emotional intelligence, personality, and brain-based coaching for women leaders. And my favorite kind of client to work with, or the favorite woman to work with, is somebody who's trying to get out of a toxic work environment. That person usually loses hope and loses confidence, and they need to be lifted up, even just to be able to see possibilities. And I love what you said, Aldreama, about decluttering the groups, because that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm just exploring, and I'm really enjoying today. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. All right, you get to call on the next person and put your information in the chat.
Okay, Priscilla.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Priscilla Hanley, and I'm located in Herndon, Virginia. I am the owner of Pristine Soul Healing. I am a Reiki master teacher and an end-of-life doula. I do distance Reiki for people and animals and teach Reiki classes. I also would like to work with the terminally ill and their families, specifically the senior community. And as a doula, I'm basically a guide and an advocate for the wishes of the terminally ill patient. And basically, I hold space for what is occurring in the present moment. So I'll put my links in the chat and look forward to connecting with all of you. Thank you.
Don't forget to call on the next person.
I'll call on Michelle.
Thank you, beautiful. Let me start my timer. I am a retired naval officer with 27 years of service, and I'm using all of those years of people training, skills, and experience to be a financial culturalist and chief possibility officer for my clients. And I approach money management from a holistic perspective, taking into account the unique cultural and societal factors that influence financial behaviors and belief. And through my work, I aim to break down the stigma around money struggles and create a safe space for my clients to explore their financial challenges and opportunity for growth. I believe that financial wellness is a component of overall health, and I'm committed to helping my clients achieve financial stability and independence. And I believe my specific insights and 30 years of experience in diversity, equity, inclusion, and cultural intelligence are valuable for high-achieving women looking to navigate the complex world of personal finance with cultural awareness and sensitivity. And I'm going to put my information in the chat. So let me stop it now. All right. And the next person that I'm going to call on is Nadia.
Hey, Nadia.
Maybe not.
Nadia.
Nadia.
Maybe she can't come on right now.
Mm.
Okay, let's go ahead and call on somebody else until.
Right. Let me see. Let me expand this back out. How about Greedy?
Hello.
Hey.
Where's my timer? Where's my timer?
Okay, get your timer.
Okay, I'm Grete Merlin Kaljuma. I have a very weird name. Whatever you call me, I understand that you're calling me. That's the most important part. So I do human design readings and life coaching for alignment with self, nature, and business. So it's quite curious, the group we have here today, because we have a little bit of commonalities, but at the same time from different perspectives. So that's curious.
It's nice, isn't it?
I help women. Yeah. I help women to show up like 110% themselves. And I also do workshops. So I did one on self-love. That was very nice. I will definitely do that again because I feel that it went to the right space. And the next one will be on 20th of September, and it will be about creating positive affirmations for ourselves. Mm-mm.
All right.
And
All right.
calling on the next one, Lana, would you like to?
Sure. Thank you. My name is Lana Molinax. I live in St. Cloud, Florida, which is just outside of Orlando, so really close to Mickey's house, for those who are Disney fans. And I'm a virtual assistant who specializes in providing administrative and technical services to entrepreneurs and small business professionals. I especially enjoy strategizing with business owners to identify ways that their businesses can run smoothly and efficiently as possible. Some of the services I provide include project management, digital organization, and data analysis. Thank you.
All right.
Let's see, who hasn't gone yet? Iman?
Thank you, Lana. So I'm Iman. I'm actually based in Mississauga, Canada. And I'm super excited about this group because for 6 years, I've been working as a communication specialist in the corporate world, and decided now to do my own thing and launch a digital content and communications agency. And so very similar to our first, like the first person who went today, I do digital content, communications work, email marketing, all of that. But my niche is focused on therapists and spiritual healers at the moment. But I've had artists that I've worked with in terms of setting up their online brand and online presence. I like for a very long time have been identifying myself as a communication specialist, right? And now it's time for me to kind of see myself as an entrepreneur. And I feel like having a community is very important, and being able to, like a lot of us are saying, support, guidance, especially for someone who's like kind of a budding entrepreneur like myself. I would love to learn from a lot of empowered women. And as you can imagine, like the journey is not easy. And as you know, it's not easy. And sometimes you want to give up, and you're like, oh, wait, am I the only person in this world thinking this way? And then being part of this group is just reassuring. Like just today, I'm really enjoying everything that's being shared. And I'll just toss my LinkedIn in the chat. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak up.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. You get to pass the mic. Has everyone gone? No. Okay. Pass the mic.
Maz didn't go.
Maz. Calling you, Maz.
Thank you for acknowledging me, because that's very important to me, you know. They're always over. Sorry guys, I haven't got the camera on because I am just in an office space where there's other people. But anyway, for those of you who do not know me, I am a mental well-being coach, and I provide services including speaking as well as one-to-one coaching for professional women who are at risk of burnout, women who need to have and develop healthy boundaries. So that's what I do. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll put my details in the chat. I'm based in London, but we're virtually. And I've been here, in case you didn't know, Michelle and Aldreama, I keep coming back to you because I like you.
And
that's a whole order. Listen, how many business networking meetings I've been to where everybody's mansplaining and they're all crazy. So that's why I keep coming back. So there you go. Thank you.
And we love you too.
Yes, we do, Maz. Yes, we do. All right. Okay. Who has not? Raise your hand if you. I know Nadia hasn't gone, but I'm not sure if she's able to. But anyone else? Did we miss? Have we gotten everyone? Okay, so Nadia is the only one. Nadia, if you want to put your information in the chat, and I think Stacy had something else you wanted to say, but Nadia, I saw you bring your hand up. So just want to give me a high five. Is that it? Okay, that's it. Okay. Nadia, if you want to put your information in the chat, that would be cool as well. Nadia has been coming for a while as well, and Greety has been coming for a long time, Maz, she's truly a veteran here, for real. She's been coming since the early days when we were doing, our format was a little bit different. We had interesting questions that I would ask people. So yeah.
Yes, we did.
All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the link to the Zoom link in the chat. Okay. There's the Zoom link. Use that link. Yeah. So you want to know, so the format, the questions I used to ask were questions that would help to get to know you. And so some of the questions were like a little interesting. I can't remember right now what some of them were. I think one was, if you were a flavor ice cream, what flavor would you be? I think that was one, but there were some that were a little bit more interesting than that. I just can't think of what it
a little bit more risque.
Yeah. Somebody said heavenly hash, baby. Let me tell you, chocolate all day long, all day, every day. Chocolate with chocolate chips with chocolate syrup on top of chocolate.
Extra fudge.
That's right, baby. That's right. So yeah. But so we are at the top of the hour. I just want to make sure that I allow time for people to grab the chat, figure out, who you want to connect with from this point on. You know how to save the chat. Everybody knows how to save the chat. Okay, so save the chat. And then just, get to connecting. And if you're interested in joining our community, I put the information in there already. You can, check it out. And that's it. So
Aldreama, can I just say something though, as
Go ahead.
Culturalist in the room, diversity, equity, inclusion, and culture is very important to me. So I want to ask Greety, I want to make sure I'm saying her name correctly, because I had to step away for a minute and she said, as long as you say it, I know you're talking to me. That's not acceptable to me. Okay, because names are very important. So I need you to unmute and state your name so that I at least am saying it correctly, because that is very important to me.
Okay, I can do this. So it's with the R, with the European R. That's the thing. So Grete. Merlin.
Merlina.
So it's like Grete Merlin.
Greta.
Yeah, Grete.
Greta. Okay. So as long as I have your first name right, because that's how we talk to you, I want to make sure that I'm saying it correctly, because it's important to me. So it's Greta. It's kind of like our Greta, but we're rolling the R, right? Greta.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Well,
I would not be calling you greedy again. But that's what it was. It's
Greta. Yeah.
Greta.
Thank you for that. Now, I will say I have never, ever been able to roll my tongue. Never. I have tried. I envy people who are able to do that. It's just a little bit, it just doesn't work.
Rub it in your face a little bit.
We do have fun here. We do have fun. So all right. So is everybody good? Nadia, was she able to put her, I didn't look in the chat to see if she was able to put her information in the chat. No. If you can, put your information in the chat. If not, then we'll see here if she's able to put her information in the chat.
And I think I have Iman right? Am I saying that right?
Iman. Absolutely correct. It's Iman.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Michelle. I really appreciate you being inclusive to everybody and like asking our names, because sometimes it's butchered, as you can imagine.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I've gone through that. They say Aldreama, Aldreama, Idreamia, Jeannie. I'm like, where do you get all those syllables from? It's just 3.
It's just a name.
But yeah. All right. Okay, everybody. Well, listen, we are again, at the top of the hour, if everyone has saved the chat, reach out and connect with someone. Let's go do business and be about our day. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
All right. Have a great one, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.